It's Tuesday, fellas, and I appreciate you guys kicking off a morning with me here on Winning Bets, where we get to talk our sports and talk our sports betting as well. We'll make sure we have a lot of fun on today's show. We'll make sure we recap today's MLB slate, or preview today's MLB slate, I should say, at the top of the hour on the Payoff pitch, live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, I'll be here to preview today's MLB slate. I'll also give you the first soccer bet coming up for this weekend's game, the Premier League, where we're 9-2 so far in this upcoming Premier League season. So you want to make sure you stay tuned to grab that Premier League bet. It's at -111. Another good banger I found for us guys. So let's, of course, make sure we first, of course, get to recap yesterday, see how it unfolded, and then we'll dive on into that action. So throwing up the recap from yesterday, we get to go ahead and ring the cash register on a Monday. Oh, shit. Watch out. We making money on a Monday. You know this week's going to be big. 3-1 and plus 1.81 units. Absolutely love to see that right there. And Matt came through for us. In Matt we trust. He gave us Arsenal money line. That was the second leg in our between the post parlay of the week. We talked about it. There was a reason why I wasn't really high on that leg. You knew that match was more than likely going to be low scoring. You knew it was going to be an absolute battle. One that we still thought Arsenal could, pull it out. And boy, did they pull it out. Extremely sweaty. They needed a penalty kick. It was certainly a penalty kick, but as a fan, I kind of hate that because Nketiah, he gets to the ball first and touches it, but to be honest, it looks like his touch is so heavy that the ball's probably going to roll over the end line and go out for a goal kick, but because he touches the ball first and then the goalkeeper then, clashes into his legs, it draws a penalty. So certainly the right call, but man, if you're, I think a Crystal Palace fan or maybe even just a neutral fan, the forward knows what he's doing there. He knows what he's doing. It's a little cheeky move just to get to the ball first and draw the penalty. But otherwise, I thought the Crystal Palace was maybe a little bit better in the first half, or maybe at least better for about the first 30 minutes. They had some good chances. And then Arsenal was slowly kind of getting some chances. Their first shot on goal came on Odegaard, left-footed shot around about maybe 35, maybe 40th minute. And then Arsenal draw the red card as if it wasn't sweaty enough, right? We're clinging to a 0-0 game. We finally get a 1-0 lead. And then, of course, we go ahead and get the penalty, right penalty. And we even talked about it on yesterday's show. I can't remember quite who it was, but remember they were talking about over 2.5 cards. And, of course, that, I believe, that definitely hit because there was 2 yellows and then obviously the other one. But remember we talked about there being yellow cards even on throw-ins. And that's how Tomiyasu got his first yellow card, is just being delay of game on throwing the ball in. And then he picks up the second one on a tactical foul when Jordan Ayew tries to spin off of him and he, is on the breakaway. And obviously a tug of the jersey right there gets him his second yellow. So extremely sweaty, but that's why, whoever you tail, doesn't matter who you fail, you've been following that person long enough and you trust the work that they put in. We trust Matt. Arsenal money line comes through for us. 9-2 on the Premier League season. And then we, of course, rolled that on into the baseball cap where we hit our same game parlay. We took those 2 pitchers, Jane Paxton and Christian Javier, and took them under on those props. You want to talk about being dialed into a game. I said on the payoff pitch you could fade both starting pitchers from an outs perspective and a K perspective. All that hit. They both stayed under their strikeouts. They both stayed under their outs prop. I also said you could take the F5 over because both offenses were extremely hot. The F5 over hits extremely easy. I said you could take the full game over, and that hit. The only thing I wasn't confident on was giving out a winner. We talked about Astros, but I didn't say that. I said take the over. Completely dialed in. Everything hit in that game. So love to see that we were able to get a cash out of that as we did the K prop angle in that one. We were tripped up there by Aaron Nola with the strikeouts. Just missed by 1. Worked his ass off in the first inning, but really battled. Only had a 6-pitch second inning. But unfortunately, after those 2 innings, he didn't have any strikeouts. He then gets 5 to end the night. Goes 7 strong. Just a good outing by him. One in which, we knew the Giants were going to struggle. They can't hit right-handers, and they get blown out by that game with the Phillies. So tripped up right there, but then come right back in the nightcap and get a good cash there. Best bet of the day, Mariners run line taking on the White Sox. That's your best bet of the day. How about a 14-2 winner, no sweat winner? So we love to see that one right there. Added up, it's 3-1 and plus 1.1 units. So a good day. Like I said, we're making money on a Monday. this week could be in trouble. This could be one of those breakthrough weeks. We've obviously had a great 3-week run of picking up units every week, but we making money on a Monday. The week better watch out. So love to see that right there. Hit that like button if you were part of yesterday's cashes. Hit that like button and let me know you were part of the cashes. If we hop on into the comment section, Ryan, how about them skids? How about that, man? How about that? Coming through, game-winning field goal, celebrating it like it's a damn playoff game. The way they were celebrating that game-winning field goal. Love to see it right there. Big game. Yeah, it's preseason. Guys are battling for jobs. You got the Ravens 24-game win streak on the line. Big win right there. Nice. That offense looked good at times. That offense looked good. It's a tough division, tough conference, but love to see it, Ryan. Picking up the W and ending. I tell you what, there was for a minute there, it looked like the Ravens were going to maybe cover. The sportsbooks would have cleaned up. I don't know if I saw a handicapper yesterday give out Ravens, whether it was money line or Ravens against the spread. It seems like the whole world was on the Commanders. They come through. You love to see the people winning and the sportsbooks losing. So love to see that, Ryan. Love it. Tyler, good morning, man. Hope you're doing well. You saw on ESPN, you just saw in the ESPN games that the winner of the contest has signed up this morning. Y'all are fighting for the first place loser spot now. Talking shit. You love to see that right there. You hear that, fellas? Tyler has entered the contest. He says it's over. Nah. Love to see it. Love to see it, Tyler. Good luck, man. Presumably you're in all three, I would assume. I don't know if you missed Thad's comment, Tyler, but he said he's going to win the treble. It ain't going to be that easy for you. We got stiff competition out there. If you guys don't know what Tyler's talking about, over on ESPN, we're going to compete in the NFL Eliminator contest, the NFL Pigskin Pick'em Spread and Straight contest. You can find the group information for all three of those contests down in this video description. $250 to the Eliminator contest, $100 to the Pick'em Straight contest, and $25 a week to the NFL Pigskin Spread contest winner each week. So jump on in there, take my money, have a good time, and compete against your fellow winning bet supporters while, of course, talking shit. That's what we want. I mean, I don't mind giving out the money, but it'd be a hell of a lot cooler if you guys were talking shit, riling it up, stirring it up. Let's get after it, boys. I'm not going to roll over. There were times last week when I won the NFL Pigskin Spread contest and was able to save myself $25. Yeah, I'm looking to do that again. I'm not going to roll over easily. I'm trying to save myself $25 a week. So come get it, boys. Come get it, boys. Let's go. Let's get it. Sorry. Thad, you mean third? He's coming. He's coming. All right, guys. 9-2 in the Premier League season so far. 9-2 so far this Premier League season. I could not come off of this parlay. So I'll go ahead and make the parlay. Brighton team total over 1.5 goals. We've gotten in a bet on both of their games so far this season. Match week number 1, we used them in the between the post parlay of the week. And then last week we just did their game against Wolves over 2.5. They dominated West Ham last year. I want a piece of Brighton. I mean, generally speaking, I want a piece of Brighton every single week. We've talked about Brighton a lot on Between the Posts. Just a fantastic team. I really want a piece of Brighton before European competition comes, because who knows how they're going to handle being in Europa League and playing on Thursday nights with a quick turnaround on Sunday. That's just not something they're used to. I like the depth of the squad. I think they'll be able to handle it. But earlier on in the season in the Premier League, they don't have those concerns because you're just playing once a week until after the first international break, and then you jump into Champions League and Europa League competition. So earlier on, there's no concern. You saw it again last week against Wolves. They get 4 goals. You saw it again with Matomo. Again, he's going to be a $75+ million man come next summer. He is one of the top talents from a winger position in all of the Premier League. They're going to get 2 goals past West Ham at home, just like they did last year in both fixtures. And then Arsenal, okay, maybe they did struggle a little bit yesterday against Crystal Palace, but that was on the road at Selhurst Park. It was always going to be a struggle. Now they come home to the Emirates. They've got to take on Fulham, a Fulham team that looking like they're going to be struggling this season, right? They replaced Mitrovic with Raul Jimenez. That's a major drop-off. And then defensively, they just don't seem to quite have it. Paulinho, he's still been out, and that's their, CDM. That's really their defensive rock, and he's been missing so far earlier on this season. I expect Arsenal to turn it up. I mean, they still created chances against Crystal Palace, having shots on goal in that second half. And even with, one man down, a lot of defending, but I saw a lot of promise out of that midfield. And obviously, you see it in that midfield with why they got Declan Rice over from West Ham, really just strengthening that team. So love everything about it. Give me that Brighton team total over 1.5, Arsenal team total over 1.5, minus 111. Both of those matches are on Saturday, and that'll kick off our match week number 3 Premier League bets. Again, we're 9-2, and of course on Thursday at around noon p.m. Eastern time, about noon Eastern time, Matt and I will be joined on Between the Posts, and we'll, of course, preview all 10 games this weekend in the Premier League and certainly add to it. There's a couple other ones I'm thinking about cooking up. This team's in action against a newbie in the Premier League, Sheffield. You don't think Man City is going to crush Sheffield? I think they will. It's just about making sure we can find the right bet. I'm actually kind of looking at the team total, and it looks like people are fading Man City because the team total is at minus 110. Now it's at even money. Certainly no rush to bet it. Well, I guess I did technically fade Newcastle City. That bit me in the ass. So don't do that again. You either tail City or just kind of back off. I guess that's the way it is. But there it is, boys. That's how we're going to kick off Premier League match week number 3. Going to look to move to 10-2 in the Premier League. And then, of course, stay with us there on Between the Posts. We'll give you our parlay of the week as well. We're 2-0 on Between the Posts parlay of the week. Matt coming through with the Arsenal money line. So there we go, boys. What are you guys cooking up? Drop in the comment section. Of course, we've got Payoff pitch at 11 a.m. Eastern time. I need to know what's your best bet today. I need to know what's your favorite underdog today. Yesterday, my leans were pretty good on the Payoff pitch, right? Our favorite underdog of the day hit yesterday. We were on the Diamondbacks as our favorite dog, and they come through in extra innings, continuing to fade slumping teams, right? Rangers are a good team. There is no doubt about that. But over 162 games, we'll say it again, you ebb and flow. The Rangers are ebbing. You take Diamondbacks yesterday as a good dog, and they come through. What's going to be your dog of the day today? What about your favorite parlay of the day? Let me know down in the comment section. We've got a few minutes. We can, certainly go back and forth before the Payoff pitch starts. If you've got a couple baseball questions you guys want to go ahead and get in there. We've got Francisco. What's going on, my man? Hope you're doing well. You like Chelsea and over 2.5 goals taking on Luton Town Friday afternoon. Obviously, Luton Town coming off the weekend in which they didn't play against Burnley. I don't know if you guys saw that, but when you are in the Premier League, the grounds, and that's what they call their stadium in European football is the grounds, it has to be of certain requirements, certain capacity. You've just got to be at Premier League standards. Well, the Luton Town Stadium wasn't up to Premier League standards, so that's why their match against Burnley gets suspended. So they've actually had an extra week to go ahead and prepare for Chelsea. Chelsea's going to be at home in this one at Stamford Bridge. They should certainly knock off Luton Town. I'm with you, Francisco. Chelsea may be struggling, losing, to 10 men, West Ham 3-1, getting the draw against Liverpool in match day number 1. At home, yeah, they should certainly get it. I still don't like that Chelsea lineup, and I think Matt has been kind of spot on Between the Posts. It's just not the chemistry there, Francisco. It's just too many new parts. I mean, literally, a lot of new parts in that Chelsea squad. I don't know. It's Friday afternoon. I'd like to certainly bet that game. So I hear you. Chelsea to win it over 2.5. You got me curious. What's the over 2.5 leg of that? Actually, let me pull it up on my computer. Be a little quicker here. The over 2.5. Let's just see what you're getting on those odds. Let's just do the whole damn thing. So you're going to get on that over 2.5 and Chelsea money line, not price shopping, random book, minus 175. I'm not coming along on minus 175. I can tell you that. Not with the way that Chelsea team hasn't earned a minus 175 lay at all. So yeah, I can't quite get there, but it doesn't mean I disagree with you at all. I'm not paying minus 175. Been looking at some MLB futures. Do we think the Mariners have any chance to make some noise? They got a good starting rotation, I can tell you that. They got a good rotation. The offense is finally clicking. Like, we've not backed the Mariners so many times this season, but have. And obviously last night they were the best bet. The offense is finally clicking. It makes me nervous, though. They've only really clicked like one time this season where we've really been backing them. They've been hot, obviously. They've been scorching. They've got the rotation. They've got Luis Castillo. Obviously, they've got Logan Gilbert. They got some good arms. The bullpen's a little lacking. They've not really had one of these bullpens throughout the season, which give you a lot of confidence. Remember the Royals series? We were on the over in all 4 games, and the over went over on all 4 games. Obviously, the Royals contributing to that, but that Mariners bullpen just hasn't inspired much confidence lately. I would still think in the American League, I mean, the Rangers are still, I know Will Smith blows it last night, against the Diamondbacks, but generally speaking, you're going to like Aroldis Chapman and Will Smith. You like Scherzer, Montgomery, Gray, the Astros. Yeah, I don't know if the Mariners can do it. Haven't been good in large parts of the season. You parlayed the A's and Rangers yesterday. A's come through. That's your squad, Adrian. Sorry to Rangers then. We were on the Diamondbacks, so that's how she goes sometimes. Sorry that happened, man. I don't like to see you suffering a loss. You can get them at 800 to win the American League. They're not better than the Rangers. They're not better than the Astros. They're definitely not as good as the Orioles offense. Orioles have a much better offense. Yeah, I can't quite get there. Maybe Chelsea in over 1.5, Arsenal money line, and Man City money line minus 102. Starting to be a little bit too many legs for me there, Adrian. You've basically got a 4-leg parlay. You've got Chelsea money line, Arsenal money line, City money line, and then within the Chelsea game, you want to tack on over 1.5. I mean, yeah, Arsenal should beat Fulham. Fulham's going to struggle to score all season long. Arsenal and City should get past Sheffield. I hear you, man. I mean, it looks, we'll see what price that parlay is. It looks good on the surface. Certainly looks good. I don't see why any of those teams should be losing. So your parlay that you're suggesting is minus 108. Minus 108. I'd like to see Chelsea's lineup, but yeah, I hear you. I like your parlay, Adrian. Yeah, it's I like taking it down to over 1.5 for sure. Because Luton Town, remember, they kind of had this rise to the Premier League really quick. It's been actually really quick. But they only average 1.26 goals per game in the championship. A very, very defensive team. They're not going to contribute much to this over. You may even just do, Chelsea clean sheet. What is that? Yeah, Chelsea clean sheet's minus 112. Now that kind of starts getting me excited. Luton doesn't do much to us. Give me much confidence that they're going to do much. Who did they score in match day number 1? Again, they didn't play against Burnley. I think they scored in match day number 1. Oh, yeah, they scored against Brighton. I think that game was 4-1 against Brighton. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe not do. I kind of like that parlay. A little too many legs for my liking on soccer, but yeah, I can't quite get there. That was the great Friday afternoon. 2+ money cashes, one of them coming dramatic in the 90th minute. That was a good afternoon, Lee. Glad to see you were a part of that. 2+ money cashes. Love that. I showed on Twitter, I parlayed those suckers together. I love that, Lee. Yes, Lee, let's go. Nice seeing you again, Lee. Hope you're doing well. I'm sure the Jets have got you buzzing over there. Hey, Lee, speaking of which, and I know Corey's a Jets fan too, we got to put a friendly wager on that one, man. Obviously, Monday night, your Jets against my Bills. Let's do a little friendly wager. See if we can't cook something up there, Lee. I'll take your money. You don't trust Chelsea yet to have an over 2.5. I agree. I do like that you bumped it to 1.5, and yeah, you throw in City, Arsenal money line. There's nothing wrong with that parlay. I like it better than Francisco's, even though there's more legs. I'm with you. I'd rather bump it down to over 1.5 than over 2.5. So I like it. I definitely agree, Adrian. Do you use Odds Jams, or have you ever in the past? I actually worked with Odds Jam. They reached out to me, I don't know, what was well over a year ago. Call it maybe 2 years ago. They came across my channel somehow, and they were starting up at that point, and we made a partnership. I don't know. I agreed to just kind of advertise them for a little bit. Now they're a paid service. So the only thing I used to use them for was price shopping. I mean, guys, there's a reason why I tell you guys here, this book is minus 111 at Caesars. I mean, price shopping takes a while. OddsJam used to be a great tool for that. It used to save you a lot of time. It's now a paid service, and now I just use OddsTrader. Now I use OddsTrader as a free tool to price shop. Otherwise, I've kind of said it, I don't give a shit about plus EV. I understand about value, but at the same time, if the stats don't line up, I've said it, unless you're giving me like a ridiculous price, which you're not going to get because sportsbooks don't have free money, like something that's, plus 120, but, should be plus 108. Like, I don't give a shit if that's a little bit of value. If the stats don't line up, like, I'm not on that play. I don't give a shit about how much plus EV there is. I'm not that kind of better. And I know OddsJam really specializes in showing and highlighting plus EV plays. That's not me. That's not me. So I do use Odds Trader though now as a free tool too on it. It's on. Oh, nice. We got our friendly bet. All right, cool. Yeah, hit me up. Can't recall if you have Twitter, Lee. I don't know if we've ever communicated on Twitter. I know we've obviously gone back and forth on YouTube comments, but however you want to hit me up. If you want to put a jersey on the line, I could use a new Bills jersey. I could use one. Maybe I'll get you to buy my Dawson Knox when he goes over 4.5 TDs in week 1. I can already get a plus 125 cash on a future. Go ahead and get a Dawson Knox jersey courtesy of Lee. Sounds like a good way to kick off this Monday night season. 2023 NFL season. Hit me up, Lee. You have to share. You cashed a 3.3K UFC parlay over the weekend. Hell yeah, fuck yeah. Share it, dog. Nice. Nice, Nebraska. Congrats. Yeah, more cashes. All right, boys. I am showing, what am I showing? Oh, hell, I'm showing 11 o'clock. Let's go ahead and jump on into the payoff pitch, boys. Yo, what's going on, fellas? Welcome on into today's episode here, the Payoff Pitch. We're live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Previewing today's MLB slate. Before we jump into today's slate, you guys see the menu there on the left-hand slide. We like to kind of work through our things. We call it quick hits, though, in the first inning. Just like to kind of talk about kind of what's on the top of our mind. We're coming off a nice day yesterday, picking up nearly a couple of units. The thing I want to ask you guys, though, is about, let me know if you have TikTok. I've been thinking about maybe doing one of these payoff pitch episodes on TikTok. Let me know if you have TikTok. I'm super loyal to the YouTube audience. This is where I first started creating video content. So if large in part the audience here doesn't have TikTok, then I'm not going to leave you guys hanging and you're going to go do an episode over on TikTok. But I would like to kind of see what it would be like doing an episode on TikTok. So let me know down in the comment section if you're a TikTok user and if you would like maybe having payoff pitch one day streamed on TikTok. Otherwise, guys, great MLB slate. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. We call it Around the Bases. We want to take a couple games and break them down. Let me pull up my notes because I did not have those suckers pulled up. Here we go. Got my notes pulled up. All right, fellas. Let's talk about a game right off the top. Let's talk about the Nationals taking on the Yankees. I kind of like the Nationals in this game. What about you guys? Nationals on that F5 money line. Of course, you get the option to push, so I love that. And of course, I'm just going to state it off the top. Why are we focusing on an F5 money line? The Yankees, a struggling team by far, but we talk about it. Their strength by far is also that bullpen. You really don't want a piece of that bullpen. Like if the Nationals aren't winning the game through the first 5 innings, the chances of them hitting the Yankees bullpen and pulling out the win is pretty slim to none. Now, if they're winning through the first 5 innings, you get into the good arms of the Nationals bullpen, and maybe you can project them as a full game winner. And if you want to take a chance on the full game money line. But to me, if they win the game, it's going to be predicated on what they can do in the first 5 innings. So give me the option to tie. I'll take the full game, or I'll take the F5 money line at plus 170 for a half a unit. The Nationals are going up against a left-hander here in Carlos Rodon, which that should certainly be music to your ears. Nationals against a left-hander. They're decent right now. They're hitting 269. They're slugging 407. OPS is 729. Weighted runs created at 97. They continue to not strike out at 14.4%. They're going to go up against Carlos Rodon, as I mentioned. He's had 6 starts, and all of them have been really poor except for one. He is getting hit. He is getting hit hard. He's coming off a hamstring injury, and I expect the Nationals to really do some damage against him. You could look at certainly their F5 team total, but again, I think I want to go F5 money line because A, I love the plus 170 price, and then it pairs up perfectly with how the Yankees struggle. We talked about the Yankees struggles versus right-handers. How about the league's worst batting average at 171? Only slugging 296, and their OPS is 554 with the weighted runs created of 55. It's all just terrible, and they're striking out a ton. an absolute ton at 29.9%. Now you insert Josiah Gray. He's on a 3-game slide. I hear you. I hear you. But this guy was in the All-Star game. This guy has more than several starts. There's a reason he was in the All-Star game. Pitched a clean inning in the All-Star game. He had a good season. Yeah, maybe had a little bit of a hiccup here in the last 3 games, but now he's getting this Yankees team that can't hit their way out of a wet paper bag, only hitting 171. And Josiah Gray has 0 career batting averages, or 0 career plate appearances against the Yankees projected lineup. Nobody has seen him. This guy should be able to strike people out. 29.9%. If you want to do over 4.5 Ks, I also agree with that play as well. He should have success from a strikeout standpoint. Hopefully that'll help him maybe wiggle out of some jams if he gets in there. But a 171 batting average would suggest he's not going to run into too much trouble. Look, I'm going to focus on the Nationals. They hit left-handers. Yankees can't hit right-handers. My only maybe concern in this game is the Yankees called up 2 of their prospects, and you see more times than not, like they can put some energy in the club and maybe not a long period of, elevation, but you can get certainly get a short-term burst. All right, well, Yankees struggle overall. National strength is hitting left-handers, doing it pretty good right now. I'm taking the Nationals, F5 money line, Nationals F5 money line, plus 170. Give me that one for a half a unit. I'll take it for a half a unit. All right, let's go ahead now and talk about the Dodgers. They're going to go ahead and take on the Guardians today. I like everything about this matchup. I really like what the Guardians are doing right now versus right-handers. They're another team like the Nationals. They just don't strike out at 16.1%. So if you want to look at Bobby Miller, under 4.5 K, stayed under in his last 2. You're getting it at plus money. I think that's a great play. They're hitting 297 right now versus right-handers. A really good batting average, 449 slugging, an OPS of 785, weighted runs created of 115. You want to look at Bobby Miller under 16.5 outs, I hear you. They're going to be able to scrape across a couple runs. They're just hitting the ball too well right now. I like their F5 team total, over 1.5. Talking about this game, though, from a little bit, I first thought I was just going to be on the F5 over. The Dodgers aren't amazing right now versus right-handers. It is Noah Syndergaard. You know what that means. Mookie Betts to steal a base. Guys at the top of the lineup that have speed. It's Noah Syndergaard. Obviously, he was a member of the Dodgers, first part of the season, right? They got cut. Now the Guardians have picked him up. He's improved a little bit. I don't know. The Dodgers just weren't quite hitting right-handers well enough for me to do the full F5 over. I'll back the team that is in a good form right now, that is getting hits and getting runs against right-handed pitching, and that's the Guardians. That's the one where we can project having success. But this game looks good. You want to do an F5 over? I would assume the Dodgers are going to have success against Syndergaard, right? Full game over certainly looks good. If you want to look at maybe a money line, that Dodgers bullpen is really on fire right now. I mean, their ERA right now is 0.91. Opponent's batting average is 0.105. Now, the Guardians bullpen is also in the top 10 in every major statistical category, ERA, FIP, whip, and opponent's batting average. But not quite like that Dodgers bullpen. All right, Dodgers probably pull the game out, probably hits the F5 over, but I'm going to go ahead and bet personally the Guardians F5 team total over 1.5 runs. All right, let's shut up now. Let's shut up and pitch, in fact. And in this time, we like to go ahead and give out some pitching categories. And let's do friend of the program, Kikuchi there of the Toronto Blue Jays. Last 2 times we've bet him, he's taken our money. Now, we've bet this guy a ton, so he's also rewarded us with plenty of cash throughout the season. But yeah, the last 2 times he's taken our money. Remember last time we took him against the Phillies, we lost on the hook as he was unable to get Bryce Harper out and ended the game with 6 innings pitched. The time before that was against the Baltimore Orioles. That was today's opponent. Remember when we broke that down? He had never gone over his outs prop against the Orioles, had just been getting crushed the last 2 seasons against the Orioles. Well, he went over. He had a good little day. He pitched 6 innings. He's on a good little roll. We know this guy well, though. But look at what the Orioles were doing on August 2nd. 10 days prior to that, that's the last time they faced Kikuchi, was on August 2nd. And look at what they're doing right now. A batting average back then of 250, now is 296. They were slugging 490, now they're slugging 551. The OPS was 776, now it's 903, and the weighted runs created was 106, now it's 144. The Orioles were slumping a little bit when they faced him back in early August, and he went 6 innings. They're not slumping right now versus left-handers. We know the hit rate with this prop, 2 of 3 on the season, cashed every game last season, Good batting averages versus Kikuchi, right? Mountcastle's 583, Mateo's 400, Rushman is 357, and Santander is 308. This prop has been good to it against the Orioles, even though we get tripped up. I'm not going to let a bad result get me off a good bet. Look for the Orioles to get back on their ways of crushing Kikuchi, which is what they've done to him since he's been in this AL East and been going against them. So I'll take Kikuchi under 16.5 outs. Give me Kikuchi under 16.5 outs. I'm actually curious. Let's get a live look at that line and see where we're at in terms of price. What's the public doing with Kikuchi today? Same line, minus 120. Hasn't even moved a bit. All right. Let's talk about a couple other guys just to mention. I mentioned Josiah Gray going over his 4.5 Ks. Again, Yankees striking out 29.9%. Can't hit shit. Josiah Gray, I expect him to look like the all-star pitcher that got him in the all-star game this year. So I like Josiah Gray today. Then Bobby Miller. One of our popular angles this year is who's going against the Nationals and Guardians, and I'll fade that starting pitcher from a strikeout perspective. So again, Bobby Miller, under 16.5 outs, under 4.5 Ks at plus money. You could sign me up for both of those. All right, those are the pitching props today. We want to go ahead and give out a long shot today. I need to find a long shot. I've got Diamondbacks written down as my notes again today because the Rangers are slumping. Same reason why we liked the Diamondbacks yesterday. It was sweaty as hell. They got it done, though, in extra innings. Let me, I don't want to just give out the Diamondbacks today, but they're also a dog for sure. Nationals, we've talked about the Nationals. I think certainly they're a dog today. See if we can't find another one. Not a too great of a day for dogs, if I'm being honest. See if we can't find another one, though. Oh yeah, and the Reds. That was the one I had. Reds. We talked about that one yesterday. We don't need to break it down. We broke it down yesterday. Game gets rained out. Same pitching matchup as yesterday. So Reds, Diamondbacks will be my dog of the day today. Reds, Diamondbacks. Get those Nationals on that F5. I'm telling you, it's going to get you a good cash. Fifth inning, we call it keep swinging. Like to give you guys some hitting props today. Got some big name players for you guys today. What about Andrew McCutchen? Who's fading Adam Wainwright today? You guys fading Adam Wainwright today? Old Waino on his way out. Swan song. Andrew McCutchen should light his ass up. 26 for 87. 7 doubles and 3 home runs. What about Marte of the Diamondbacks? He's 15 for 33 against Gray. 2 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs. No, mentioned Syndergaard could potentially have a rough day. I expect Freeman to hit him. He's 10 for 24 against Syndergaard. 3 doubles, a triple, and a home run. And Corey Seager is 6 for 18 against Zach Gallen. So big name bats today. Got some great batting averages against today's starting pitchers. I'll be targeting these 4 guys that do some damage today. 6th inning, it's a steal. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my NRFI of the day. Before I give you my NRFI of the day, don't forget about yesterday's NRFI of the day, Reds Angels. Again, same pitching matchup, so we're not going to talk about it. But that one's certainly worth mentioning because yesterday it was the dog of the day, so nothing changes about that. But we'll add to a new one for you guys. Marlins Padres is the NRFI of the day. Marlins Padres NRFI of the day comes in at minus 130 over on Bet Rivers. You got Luzardo against Snell. We've backed Luzardo a ton, but I don't mind going over his numbers because that's how goddamn good they are. I love talking about Luzardo in the first inning. 7 earned runs at 25 starts. Whip .88. Opponent's batting average 191. Electric stuff in the first inning. Love that right there. And Snell, 9 earned runs in 25 starts, 1.28 whip, and a 255 opponent's batting average. We look at the Marlins really struggling right now versus left-handers. How about the league worst batting average versus left-handers? 155, only slugging 298 and 491 with the weighted runs created of 33. And what will Blake Snell do? He'll strike you out and he'll walk you. Marlins are only drawing a walk every 4.9%. So can they take advantage of Blake Snell's by far his biggest weakness? He's got the strikeout stuff to wiggle out of a jam, but he gets it put in a jam by his walks. The Marlins don't have too high of a strikeout rate, so maybe they can lay off and avoid the strikeout. But if they can also avoid the walks, then I think Snell will have himself a nice day. Padres are doing good versus left-handers, but they have a very small plate sample size of only 42, but they hit 371, which is league best. They slug 571 with an OPS of 1024, and their weighted runs created is 181. Again, they only have 42 plate appearances. Luzardo is pretty damn tough. You're seeing an over-under of 7.5. I do like this game to go under the 7.5. I like the Padres to go ahead and win it. and it'll all start off with a NRFI there in the first inning. So there we go. NRFI of the day, Marlins, Padres. We've backed those Marlins enough in the first inning. We like everything about that. 7th inning, coming to a stretch. Best bet today. This is the best bet today on the board. Yesterday, we did a Mariners run line for the best bet. How about that? Easy winner, 14-2. Let's do another run line. Let's do Rays run line this time. Rays run line. They're going to be taking on the left-hander here for Colorado, where they're really good right now versus left-handers. They're not striking out at 21.7%. They're hitting 284, 752 OPS with a weighted runs created of 120. Meanwhile, the Rockies check in about league average. They're taking on Zach Littell, and again, they're about league average. When we do move over to the bullpen, the Rays have the #1 batting average versus right-handers. They're hitting 333 with a weighted runs created of 156 with an OPS of 909 versus right-handers. And then you fall into place with the Rockies. How about bottom of the barrel here? Bottom 5, 8.03 ERA, 292 opponents batting average, and a 5.74 FIP. Rays check all 3 boxes. Better starter. He's got the better ERA. He's got the better whip. Got the better opponent average. And in fact, Ty Blodge has a 311 opponent's batting average. He should get crushed by this Rays team. So yeah, better starter, better bullpen, better offense versus right-handers and left-handers. It's an absolute no-brainer. It's the Rays run line today, -115. That's going to be your best bet today. We call it double play. We do it here in the 8th inning. I like to give you a parlay of the day. Did yesterday's parlay hit? We did Mets, Braves, F5 over. I don't remember what the second leg was. Half of it definitely hit. Let's see if we can't cook up a parlay. I do not have a parlay cooked up. Let's see if we've got one. Wasn't big on money lines today. Really wasn't big on the money lines. Let's see. I would still do this Braves Mets. You've got kind of a repeat pitching performance, kind of just like we last time. So yeah, I'll go right back to the same well. They're asking you to pay over 5.5, same as yesterday. I don't really care. That's fine. And we'll parlay that. Mariners don't quite have all the advantages today. They're obviously, Luis Castillo was a big reason, why I liked that one yesterday. Yeah, just no money lines popped out yesterday. I would really avoid Cubs Tigers. We know Tigers generally hit left-handers. There's a left-hander today on the mound there for the Cubs and Smiley. I'd probably stay away with that. I'll probably, what's funny? It's actually funny. I wonder if that's still the case. Oh, no, you can finally do it. For a while there on DraftKings, you couldn't take Adam Wainwright under his outs prop. They had the little lock symbol next to it. They were only taking cash on the over. Well, now you can go ahead and bet the under. I'm sure everybody's slamming the under. I'll do Pirates team total over 2.5 in the first 5 innings. Everybody's crushing Wainwright. That parlay comes in at +190. So I'll do the F5 over, Mets Braves, F5 over, Mets Braves, repeat winner from yesterday, and give me the Pirates F5 team total +190. Will be the parlay of the day. All right, let's throw all the bets up on there, and then let's talk about every game from a money line, run line, and over/under perspective. I'm going to go ahead and roll with that Rays run line as the best bet today. Give me Kikuchi under 16.5 outs. Give me that Guardians F5 team total, and then a half unit will be on the Nationals F5 money line. F5 money line. All right, let's actually catch the comments first. Let's catch the comments first. We're gonna bet on Raiders Bills. Sign me up, Adrian. Sign me up. I have no idea when we play, as long as it's not preseason. Hit me up. Hit me up. What were the UFC? Yeah, let me know what those UFC legs were. You like to see the Nationals get the win? Yeah, I mean, like I said, if they can win through the first 5, Brian, and they can get into their good arms of the bullpen, even though it is a struggling bullpen, maybe. You lose all your advantages in this matchup come start of the 6th inning when it, theoretically becomes a bullpen game. So once you lose your advantages, why do I want to bet on a full game? That's why I'm on the F5. But I hear you, Brian. Let's get them. When the Jets own you guys, I want a Garrett Wilson 17 jersey. All right. Ain't going to happen in a game. Do you guys see Colin Cowherd put out his top 10 wide receiver and quarterback duos, and Rodgers and Wilson make the top 5? Not only do they make top 5, they're ahead of Diggs and Allen. Are you kidding me? Diggs is doing effing circles around Garrett Wilson. And also, I don't believe Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers have thrown a goddamn pass in a regular season game together. And they're ahead of Allen and Diggs. Get out of here. Colin Cowherd, he's just the guy for clicks. That's all he is. What's up, DeGent? What's up, man? Yeah, what was that parlay? Your Bengals are going to crush all y'all's teams. Number 1 wide receiver group. They got a dangerous group. Yeah, they picked us apart in the playoffs, Brian. I hear that. NRFI and the Marlins, Padres. Luzardo is struggling but still playing well in the first. Damn right, DeGent. He's been lights out in the first inning. Lights out in the first inning. Boom. All right, let's do a little rapid fire. He's been lights out in the first inning. He good. He really good. All right, let's jump to it, boys. Cubs and Tigers, over-under of 9. Nailed this game yesterday. Said Cubs money line with the over. Nailed that. Both of those hit. Cubs minus 120. Tigers plus 100. Tigers weren't doing all that great against left-handers, and they've not been the same team large in part. They've had spurts where they've been good. They're struggling right now. They're hitting 175 versus left-handers. Weighted runs created of 69, but it's generally their strength. I'm going to take Cubs again at minus 120. They hit right-handers, so I'll take the Cubs at minus 120. Rockies and Rays, over-under of 8.5, plus 220 for the Rockies. Rays minus 270. Best bet of the day, so we'll stick to that. We'll also do over 8.5. That bullpen struggling. Rays hit righties and lefties, both strong. I'll take over 8.5. Giants and Phillies with an over-under of 9. Hit this game yesterday. Told you the Giants would struggle. They're going up against a right-hander today in Walker, but that's not a Strider. That's not an Aaron Nola. Like, Aaron Nola pitched good. 7 innings, only gave up 2 solo home runs. Walker's not on that kind of level. That's why we're not fading that game. Which DeGent, your parlay hit yesterday. Phillies, Mariners. Good one there, man. I'll take the Phillies again at minus 142. Giants just continue to struggle. I'll take the Phillies at minus 142. Nationals and Yankees, over-under of 8.5. Nationals plus 150. Yankees minus 180. I'm just staring at this minus 180 for the Yankees and trying to wrap my head around how the hell they're minus 180. I don't even know how they're favored in the first 5 innings. They can't hit right-handers. Nationals have been hitting left-handers all season long. All season long they've been hitting left-handers. They're like right under my thresholds of like really full-on betting them. They're right there versus left-handers. I don't get it. Give me of course, Nationals money line here for rapid fire. Nationals money line. Blue Jays and Orioles, over-under of 8, plus 102 for the Blue Jays. Orioles minus 122. I think the over. The Blue Jays are struggling versus right-handers, but they should be able to get to Rodriguez. They know him well. Obviously, fading Kikuchi with the Orioles, generally speaking, success against him more times than not. And then I think they'll carry that on into a full game win. So give me over 8 and Orioles minus 122. Cardinals and Pirates, over-under of 10. Boy, that guy Drew Rom, he got his ass rocked, it seemed like yesterday. I didn't quite jump in the box score, but I saw the Pirates get double-digit runs, so I assume Drew Rom had a pretty rough MLB debut. Now you get Wainwright versus Oviedo, over-under of 10, plus 114 for the Cardinals. Pirates minus 135. Probably just do an over. An over, and I don't know how you're backing Wainwright in the Cardinals. I'll take Pirates at minus 135. Dodgers and Guardians, over-under of 9, minus 205 for the Dodgers. Guardians plus 170. I'll do Guardians run line here. Bullpen, not as good as the Dodgers, but a top 10 bullpen. And the offense, they've got the advantage. Obviously, I'm expecting them to have at least 2 runs after 5 innings. So I'll take Guardians run line, plus 1.5 runs, and it's at plus money. Give me plus 105 and a run and a half for the Guardians. I'll take it. Mets and Braves, over-under of 10.5, plus 180 for the Mets. This was one we said yesterday. Get Earl on the Mets early. Maybe they do what the Nationals are attempting to do today. If they can get out early and project that to a full game, we wanted to avoid that yesterday, but we talked about that, right? If you can get in your good arms, your bullpen, you get up early, it can get you to a win. That's what happened to the Mets yesterday. Not a surprise to see that. Give me the over today, over 10.5, over 10.5. Mariners and White Sox with an over-under of 8.5, minus 155 for the Mariners. White Sox plus 130. Clevenger has been pitching decent as of late. Mariners certainly still have the offensive advantages in this game, so because of that, I'm going to stick to the Mariners here. I'm going to stick to the Mariners here. Red Sox and Astros, over-under of 9, plus 124 for the Red Sox. Astros minus 148. Different game yesterday, different game today, taking on two right-handers as opposed to a lefty and a righty yesterday. Let's get, obviously the Red Sox are good. That's why we liked that F5 over yesterday. The Astros, and then the bullpen, we know the Astros have the advantage from yesterday and talking about that game. I'm going to go back to the Astros here. It'll be a little sweaty, but I do like the Astros to pull it out. Twins and Brewers, over-under of 8.5, minus 115 for the Twins. Brewers minus 105. Brewers are back to struggling, so I'll take the Twins at minus 115. Reds and Angels, like the Reds at plus 124. Angels minus 148, over-under of 9.5. Again, talked about that yesterday. Like the Reds again, one of the dog of the days. And then Marlins Padres, over-under of 7.5, minus 180 for the Padres, plus 150 for the Marlins. I'll go ahead and take the Padres, parlay that with the under. That'll get you a good little cash. A couple more comments came in. See what we got. What's up, Daryl? How you doing, man? Opinions of the Nats. We've talked about that. I just talked about the Twins. I like the Twins. And the Pirates winning versus the Royals. Pirates are playing the Cardinals. I would just take the over with Wainwright on the mound. But, yeah, I mean, should win the game. And then Angels. And you got a hell of a parlay here, man. This is too big of a parlay, obviously. I mean, how many teams we got in here? 6? I don't like the Angels. I like the Reds. I don't know, Daryl. Literally the league worst ERA at 8.44. League worst opponent's batting average at 3.47. League worst whip at 2.0. Fourth worst FIP at 5.17. And worst BABIP at 439. I don't know how you're having the confidence to back the Angels on a money line perspective with that bullpen, man. Oh, and you want to add in, you're hitting below the Mendoza line versus right-handers at 193 with the weighted runs created of 56. I don't know how you're getting behind the Angels, man. I have no idea how you're getting behind the Angels. So, yeah, I don't like that parlay. Give me the Nats, Twins, Pirates, and that's it for your parlay. Who are the Royals playing? I know they were starting that Alec Zebra or Angel. Oh, they're going against Oakland that doesn't have a starter yet. That's why I didn't really handicap that game. I mean, if they throw a right-hander, you know the Royals hit right-handers. Obviously, they didn't win the game yesterday, but their numbers still look great. Of course, they've regressed a touch after losing yesterday's game, but depending on who the Athletics throw, they threw Blackburn yesterday. They've thrown their 2 left-handers the series before that against whoever the hell they were playing, because I remember Waddlechuck and Sears went. So they're probably throwing Medina, maybe. Yeah, depends on who they're throwing. But some of that parlay I like, some of it I don't. All right, there we go, fellas. Any other thing? Any other questions we got? Anything else, fellas? What else we got, boys? All right, let's have ourselves a good little day, boys. Rays run line, fade Kikuchi, tail those Guardians, and also back those Nationals today through the F5. Have yourself a good little day. Nice. Love to see it. Love when you guys drop in comments like that, hitting big parlays. I like the first parlay, not the second parlay, because the second parlay is from a shark. Okay. I assume you mean sharp and not a shark, but that's just funny. I didn't even realize you had 2 parlays in there. I thought that was one big parlay. Yeah. All right. Good luck today, fellas. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Let's stay hot, baby. Stay hot. Have a good one, guys.